Hello, and welcome back to the Heart Artistry Podcast. I'm so happy you are here. Today, we're going to be talking about in order to create crazy results, you have to start with a crazy mind and a crazy way of thinking. And when I use the words crazy and delusional and insane, like I'm really referring to like you being this version of you that is beyond beyond the ordinary, beyond what is seen in our quote unquote normal reality, because you're creating something, you're creating a life and a business and a reality that goes beyond what so many people even allow themselves to dream, right? And I know that you're in a place right now where you want crazier results in your business. You want bigger cash months. You want to double what you're making right now. You want big milestones and results in your business that will literally blow your mind and make people go, wait, you did that? That's crazy. That's amazing. That's incredible. And you get to think to yourself and be like, yeah, I did it because I am crazy, right? So you don't just believe the way that we create this, right? You don't just believe the thoughts that come up in your brain. This is some of the most foundational stuff that I do with my clients is we're not just going to believe everything that comes up in your brain. We're going to rework the way that you see things and reframe your experiences because you get to choose your own thoughts. You know that you can't just listen to everything your brain offers you. Right? Like you can't just believe everything that your brain is giving you. You get to, thoughts are a spectrum. Thoughts are a spectrum. Like you can literally go from like, oh my gosh, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think people are going to sign to like, wait, I can literally have the biggest cash month ever. And then your energy and frequency start to shift, and then your results start to shift, and you start to feel better and you feel good in your body. And because you feel good in your body, you're coding all your actions with that frequency, and then your people can feel that and then they're jumping in, right? Like a logical person could be in the middle of a launch and be like, okay, I have 2 people signed up so far. It's 4 days into the launch. Is it still possible for me to hit my goal of 10 people by the end of this week? We have 3 days left. Logic would say, based on the past 4 days, probably 1, maybe 2 people will come in the next 3 days. That's just what we're seeing based on logic and predictability. But delusion says, I can flip it like that. I can sell now. I can sell my heart out. I can shift my energy from like wobbly and in and out to I'm all in. And I can get 2 people in by the end of the day. And then another 3 can sign up tomorrow. And another 4 can sign up the next day. Like we can be so crazy and just delusional, like insane. Like I don't see people think this way, right? That's what you can tell yourself is like, people around me don't think this way. I'm going to think this way because this is what I choose to believe in my business, right? Like you are extraordinary. Extraordinary literally means extraordinary. So anyone who's ordinary and has ordinary thinking and has ordinary beliefs, they're going to get ordinary results. And that's why most people work an ordinary 9 to 5 and they work these ordinary hours and they have ordinary money and they make ordinary decisions and actions because they're not tapping into their crazy. They're not tapping into their delusion, right? They have a paycheck where they make the same amount of money every couple of weeks, every 2 weeks or so. And they don't expect there necessarily, unless it's like the end of the year or something crazy, they get a bonus. But other than that, they make the same amount of money every single time in their paycheck. Same amount of money, same amount of money, same amount of money. But when you choose to work for yourself, like you already are delusional. You're already thinking like, okay, I'm going to create something on my own. I'm going to create my own offers. I'm going to set my own prices. I'm going to make a living based off of my own thoughts and my own actions and courage and what I am fueled by, right? where other people around you might be thinking, oh my goodness, not in this economy, not with these gas prices. Life is so difficult. Everything's so expensive, right? Like you can understand and validate where they're coming from, but also operate on a different level of abundance, of seeing money in a different way, having a different relationship with money, right? Where you're a match to money and money is constantly coming to you. Money is constantly a magnet to you, all because of what you choose to think, all because of what you choose to believe. And you're choosing to be outside of, beyond your current reality or what's happened so far in your life. I talked about this a couple of times, but this is around like the middle of the year, like we're getting towards the last several months of the year. This is when people will be like, oh yeah, I made $50,000 the first half of the year, so I'll probably just make another $50,000, right? Or like, yeah, I made $100,000 in the first 6 months of the business, 6 months of the year, and so I'll probably just make another $100,000. Like we are so quick to create predictability, and we're so quick to just look at, because it feels safe. Like the brain just kind of wants to be right because it wants to feel safe. So it wants to be like, even though that's not necessarily the thing you want, like it's not like, okay, you made $50,000 the first 6 months, you want to just make $50,000 the last 6 months. Like you can make $50,000 the first 6 months and make $70,000 the next 6 months. Because actually, and that would actually make more sense, because we're always compounding and growing, and we're always becoming the wisest version of ourselves. So if anything, you get to look at the first 6 months of the year and alchemize all of those lessons that you've learned and bring it into the next 6 months of the year, which makes you even more powerful, which would actually make more sense. It does in my brain. Right? But what most people will do is like, well, I'd rather just play it safe. I'd rather be right. I'd rather feel like there's something I can kind of lean on, feels a little bit more reliable, feels like there's a little bit more predictability where I can lean in and be like, well, if I know that I can make 50K in 6 months, then I may as well stick within 50K within 6 months, because if I aim a little too high, then I could be disappointed, and I don't want to be disappointed. So I'm just going to stick within the 50K. And that's how a lot of people stay within the same income range. It's not like you're making bad money. It's not like anything's necessarily going wrong, but it's not your fullest potential, and you know that, right? And that's why sometimes there are business owners that either hit a plateau, they're making the same amount of money, or sometimes sales slow down a little bit, right? Or it just kind of like it's just the same. It's on a plateau. It's just like the same month after month after month, year after year after year, and nothing ends up actually exploding because you're just kind of comfortable, coasting. It's like, oh, okay, I know I can do this. I know that this is available. And I know if I do this and this and this, I'll have this amount of sales, and this is how much money I'll make each month. Okay, cool. I'm just going to keep doing that so I don't really like rock the boat too much. Because it is scary to let go of a signature offer. It is scary to redo your product suite. It is scary to pivot and shift into a new niche. It is scary to deepen into what you're doing and become more of a specialist and really hone your craft rather than what may have been working up until now, right? There is fear in that. And we get to acknowledge that because we're human beings. Like, of course that's scary. Of course there is risk involved. But here's the thing is money is always going to respond to who we're being. Money is always going to respond and be a responder, right? A byproduct to who we're being and how we're choosing to be, who we're choosing to be, how we're choosing to act, what we're choosing to think, what we're choosing to tell ourselves. So if money is always going to respond to us in that way, then we know, okay, if money is always going to respond to me, how can I be if I want crazy money, if I want delusional money, if I want there to be so much money, I don't even know what to do with it. Like so much money that's just like, oh, this is crazy. Like that's so much, that was a huge month. Oh my gosh, that was my biggest month in business ever. Like, oh my gosh, that was crazy, right? In order for us to create those kind of moments, we also have to be okay with holding more risk. And this is where I see a lot of, especially women in business, not being able to hold high levels of risk because they're wanting to seek more safety. Because as women, we really want to avoid feeling disappointed. We really want to avoid feeling that level of rejection. We'd rather find some kind of safety and just feel like, okay, my brain can be right about this. And if my brain is right about it, I'll feel more safe about it. And then that way we continue to stay inside our comfort zone. right? Going back to that example I gave you with two people signed up so far in the launch, it's only 4 days in. Our brain can sometimes, it feels easier, it feels a little bit safer to be like, oh, okay, well, there probably is only going to be 1 or 2 people. And then that way it's like, okay, at least that's predictable. At least I'm not going too big. At least I'm not, going over here with this massive number, because I don't know if I can hold that. Versus like, I can flip a switch. I can sell now. I can be all in. I can go harder with my energy, right? Like I can create this, like this is available for me. I can do it, right? This is something that is attainable. Like it's not crazy. It's not an impossible goal. It maybe it's never happened before, right? But it's possible. Someone else has done it, right? So we get to look at that and say, okay, yes, there is what's happening in the current reality, and we can choose to look at that and be like, I'm not gonna operate in the current reality. I'm going to choose to operate in my own delusion, in my own fantasy, because how is that going to bother anyone anyway? Right? It's not going to bother anyone to be in your delusional state. It's not going to change anything. If anything, it's going to cause people around you to rise even more, because then people have to be in their own delusion to even spend time with you. Right? Like when I started my business, and as I've grown my business over the years, I've really released a lot of friends and friend groups that don't hold the same, like we're not aligned in one way or another, or there's just like, I have a very small group of friends, and I'm very selective with the people that I hang out with. And so there are sometimes people that I meet where I'm like, I don't like the way you think, and I don't want that to rub off on me. I'm really protective of myself, right? And even when I go on first dates and people that I meet in general, right? It's like there are some people where I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be around that kind of mindset. Like I don't want to be like, if I can choose, right? And it's not just like, family members and things like that where I learn to expand my capacity. If it's someone new and bringing into my life and I get to choose, I'm like, I'd rather choose someone different who's more on the same wavelength as me, right? Like, could I hold it and could I expand my capacity to be around it? Yeah, absolutely. And I do that with certain people in my life that I choose to be around, and we get to be intentional about that. But this is what we're creating, right? Like we're creating our own reality all the time. So there's always a little bit of a buffer though. So anything you see in your reality, your bank account, your relationships, your friendships, the things that you see when you look around you, right? This is all created by you. The things you like, the things you don't like so much. But that's where we get to be empowered, is we know that we get to change and shift anything that we don't like about ourselves, about our life, about our financial situation, about our business, right? And really, when I use the word delusion, it really is just power. It's just personal power. It is our power, right? It's our power as women, as people, as creatives, as visionaries, because we're bringing something to life that had not, prior to us birthing it, really existed. So what you're doing is you're playing in the realm of pure potentiality. You're choosing to operate in a realm that is different and beyond what you currently see and experience, right? There is a realm of potentiality that you get to tap into, that is this, think about this reality, this dimension where anything is possible. Anything you want, check, they're going to give it to you, right? Anything that you desire, you just put it in order and it comes through. This is what we get to experience in our lives. You get to have anything you want, but what do you choose to believe about yourself? What do you choose to believe about money and making sales and attracting your aligned clients? What do you believe? Because who says that there aren't 5 people right now thinking, I bet it's more than 5, thinking of working with you right now that all decide that it's time on the same day and you have a $50,000 month? Like, who says that's not possible? Who says you can't attract 15 people into your next mastermind launch and make 6 figures in a week? Might have made 6 figures in a year. You might have made 6 figures in a year in your corporate job. You might have made 6 figures across 2 years. Who says you can't do that in a month or 6 months? Right? Like all of this is just like, it's just our relationship to it. If we've been able to create it once over a longer span of time, we're able to create it in a shorter amount of time. Like who says that you can't sell different offers back to back and sign people into every single one of your offers by the end of today? Like who says? Who knows, right? There are no other rules other than the ones that you continue to hold on to that keep you limited and restricted. So this leads me to this. I created a challenge. It's $10. It's called the Delulu Sales Challenge. And don't let the $10 price tag fool you. This is $10 for you. Like I'm doing this for you all for the sake of like, just, I want it to be a no-brainer. I want you to get yourself in here and I want you to be able to experience what it's like to be in the room with me. I also want you to experience 5 days of no bullshit business coaching where we are breaking down all the rules. I'm breaking down my exact money manifestation method. I'm teaching you exactly how to hold the power before the results even come through so your power doesn't waver. I'm teaching you my exact sales strategy that has created over $1 million in my business. I'm also teaching you the articulation and the art, the energetics of sales, fine sales, like how to master sales. You're going to walk away from this 5-day training going like, oh my gosh, that was the best sales trainings I've ever received. Like I want you all to walk away and be like, that was gold. And I can't believe that was $10. That could have been $1,000. Like that's how I'm putting this together. It's 5 days. We are starting next week. It's going to be hosted inside the Facebook group for the Delulu Sales Challenge. Like you'll have all those details upon registration. But I really created this so that you will become the most delusional person in your business, right? Because sales, you get to have delusional sales. You get to have insane sales. Like you might look around and see other people celebrating these big cash milestones and you're like, oh my gosh, that seems so difficult and so complicated. And that couldn't be me because it would take so much longer for me because of XYZ, like whatever it is that you're telling yourself that's like, I can't because this wouldn't happen for me because I can't have that because, well, that wouldn't work out for me because these are all subconscious limitations, AKA lies. These are literally lies telling you that you can't have what you want. Who's to tell you you can't have what you want? God wants you to have everything you want in this life. God wants you to be so rich, to have so much money, to be able to live the life that you desire with the freedom that you desire. Like this is already decided for you before you were even born. This is your birthright. You are here to live a life of abundance. You're here to live a life where you get to have it all. You get to have it all. And that isn't even delusional. We call it delusion because we've been so used to the ordinary and we've been so used to living our lives in a certain way and living our lives very mundane and regular and common and 9 to 5 and get a paycheck every 2 weeks. But you get to have a life that is extraordinary where there's no ceiling on the income. You get to create the type of money where you look around and you're like, I can't believe this is my life. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a millionaire. What a time to be a multimillionaire. What a time to be able to, put my kids in private school or be able to, fund be able to have a retirement fund for them, to be able to get them the most amazing household services. Like you get to have a nanny and a mother's helper and a private chef that creates all organic meals for you and your family. And you get to sit around and eat that together. Like that's all available, right? And the only thing that prevents you from having that is any limitation in your mind going but that doesn't happen for people like me. But who is saying that? You and your limitations are the only ones saying that. You even just tap into having a $50,000 week by the end of this week. And some of your initial thoughts are going to be like, oh, no way. There's no way. So just notice how often we feed into and support and back up our own limitations. Like, we're fighting to keep our own limitations. Why do we fight so hard to keep our own limitations? Right? Like, some of you might even want to like do a little debate sesh back and forth. Like, no, Tiffany, that would never happen because this and this and this, it's never happened before. My offers are only this and that. I can't. Where in your brain are you already like, no? Like, I'm literally telling you, you could have a $50,000 week and your immediate response is like, no, don't even tell me that. Stop. So if you're thinking that, those are already subconscious blocks that are standing between you and $50,000. What if you, okay, for a moment, just think about $50,000 as the same energetic frequency as $50. What if I told you you're going to make $50 by the end of this week? You're probably like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. But then I start going up. I start going 5,000, right? 50,000, 15,000, 5,000, right? As I start going up, I know that was out of order, but as I start going up, you might start going, oh no, 5,000, maybe 5,000, 15,000. Oh my gosh, I don't know. 50, oh my God, hell no. Where's that money going to come from? And your mind starts wanting to wonder like, okay, well, how much do I have to work? And what exactly do I do? And I have to sell my liver and my left toe and on the black market. And then I have to be able to like, and then I'm on the streets, right? Like selling God knows what. You already are feeding into these limitations. And then your brain is trying to figure out exactly how this is going to work. Part of the delusion is not knowing exactly how this is going to work. I'm going to give you an example. My daughter has this goal that she wants to hit this summer. It's a money goal. I told her, you can do whatever you want this summer. You can sell things, you can sell services. She's sold bags before and she's made money doing that. She has sold, she makes like crochet bracelets and different crochet things that people can sell, different objects and products. And I told her, I was like, okay, you have this goal. You set the goal. I didn't tell her what number to set it at. She decided on a number on her own. And I told her, you know, why don't you come up with a list of things that you can do? She's very close to her goal, by the way, and we're at the end of summer. But in the beginning of summer, I was talking to my friend about this. I was like, yeah, I have this goal. And then she was like, actually, I need someone to watch my dogs over the weekend because I'm going to be going on a trip. Would you like to stay at my place and watch the dogs? And Alaska can come up with her own rate and she can pitch it and put together a little proposal and what she's going to do to take care of the dogs. And we'll come to an agreement with how much we're going to pay her, right? Alaska didn't know that my friend was going to be leaving town. My Alaska didn't know that there was an opportunity for her to dog sit. She just set this goal. And then she continued to hold on to it and opportunities continued to come. And then I actually told one of my friends and she was like, wait, I think I actually want her to dog sit for me as well. And then, you know, my parents ended up offering her some money for doing chores around the house and helping with the garden and doing certain things around their home. So Alaska didn't know, I mean, she could brainstorm and she like dog sitting wasn't on her initial list, but she was just open to receiving that amount of money. And now she's actually received hundreds of dollars over the summer. In the beginning of the summer, she started with $0 for this fund, right, that she's building for her goal. And then over time, she's made a little more and a little more and a little more and a little more and a little more, right? So it's the same thing in our business. We don't always know where the money's going to come from. We don't always know which opportunities. I mean, we have to put ourselves out there and continue to show up and continue to sell and continue to talk about the work we're doing, but we don't always know exactly which client is thinking what. Or which client is right now having a conversation with their partner and saying like, hey, I've been loving so-and-so's content. I really think I'm going to work with her. And they're talking about you. They're talking about you, right? This person, they're starting to budget. They're putting a savings aside. The clients have told me this and I didn't even know until the time that they hired me, that they were saving, that they were having conversations with their partner, that they were doing this and that. I don't know, and I don't need to know, and it's not my job to be in my clients' wallets. It is my job to hold my power and hold my vision for what I want in my business, what I want to create, the money, the kind of money I want to create, the kind of money that I want to receive. And from there, I trust that I'm going to attract the right people, the right opportunities, the right money-making opportunities. And that's what we get to do. We get to be, and you know, I keep using the word delusional and that's the name of this challenge, but it's really not even delusional. It just makes good sense, right? But not a lot of us are thinking that way because we're not willing to be in something that feels unpredictable or scary or high risk. especially when we've been taught by our parents, our immigrant parents, to not do things too risky. Right? So that's what I want to leave you with. I want to invite you inside this challenge. It's $10. It's going to blow your mind. This is the best $10 you're ever going to spend on yourself ever. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to over deliver. I'm going to nail it for you all. It's going to be 5 trainings across 5 days. We're starting next week. Okay. Next week, August 10th to the 14th. Like, I'm so excited to bring this forward for you all. This is going to be such an incredible challenge. And there are going to be jam-packed trainings every single day that you will continue to have access to. $10. Like, it's going to be insane. The value is going to be through the roof. And I just wanted it to be a no-brainer. I want you to not even think about it. Be like, okay, yep, $10, here you go. I'm going to join this training. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to submit this and register for this with the intention that I'm ready to go all in and become the most delusional version of myself and just watch what happens to my business and to my income and to my sales, because I'm choosing to operate in a completely different way. So I will see you inside the challenge. The link to sign up is inside the show notes. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me or my team, and I will see you on the next episode. And for those of you inside the challenge, I'll see you on day 1 next Monday. Love you.